helping make your life easier. Moms Every Day.
Thanks for being with us for Moms Every Day. I'm Katie Wilson. Today we've got Dr. Casey Patick. She is a pediatrician at Cabell Huntington Hospital. So thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
I think you are the first pediatrician that I've interviewed on this show.
Great.
Very exciting. Yes, welcome. So obviously we've been talking about back to school a lot, and I'm sure this is a very busy time for you.
Yes.
A lot of parents are bringing their kids in for vaccination. So first let's just talk about, what exactly do vaccines prevent?
So vaccines protect against a lot of diseases. A lot of these diseases we don't see anymore because of vaccines. So that includes things like diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, we call it whooping cough, hepatitis, types of bacteria that cause meningitis, chickenpox, measles, mumps, rubella. So those are the big things that are really important to get vaccinated against.
Got it. And about what age would you suggest start bringing your kids in?
So kids get seen before they start their vaccinations, but vaccinations start when they're infants. So you do that mostly when they're younger, but they get those through life. So the schedule you kind of see is 2 months, 4 months, 6 months. You're lucky and you get a break at 9 months. You can still come in and be seen, but time. 1 year of age, 15 months, 18 months, 4 years of age, 11 years of age, and 16 years old.
Okay, so certainly something to stay on top of.
Yes, absolutely. And I do recommend getting those on that schedule because that helps prevent diseases at a younger age where they're more susceptible to those diseases. So it's very important to stay on that schedule.
Okay, and let's talk about some of the common side effects of vaccinations.
So usually what you see is fever. Kids can definitely get a fever after vaccinations, and that is normal. Sometimes that lasts a couple days, and it's completely fine to give your child Tylenol if they're younger than 6 months, and Motrin if they're over 6 months. But you can see that. You can see tenderness and redness at the injection site. And sometimes when you get the Mmr vaccine, which is around between 12 and 15 months, you can get a rash around a week or two later.
Okay. You just mentioned the Mmr vaccination.
Yes.
We were talking about before we were on air. Some people think that there's sort of a connection with that and autism, right?
Yes, that is a big factor of why people are afraid to vaccinate their kids. And, that's fine to have concerns because, that means you care about your child. And, we welcome questions all the time as pediatricians. But there is no link between autism and vaccinations. People in particular worry about the Mmr vaccine. And there was actually a study done this past year that included over 600,000 people. The study was done in Denmark, and 600,000 people, that's a big, big number of people to study. And there was no association with the Mmr vaccine and autism. And that's just one of the studies that have been done. So really good research to say that that's not the case.
Absolutely. You can't really argue against science.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. So what about the HPV vaccine? I know that's a very popular one.
Yes. So that's kind of a newer vaccine. I mean, it just kind of started when I was younger, but people still have a lot of questions about that, and I see parents who are very concerned about that. But that is one vaccination. It's called Gardasil that protects against cervical cancer. So any vaccine that protects against cancer, I am all about. And there's also studies, actually there was a study that came out this year that showed women who were vaccinated against HPV, to certain strains that are in that vaccine, reduce the amount of precancerous cells from 55% to 33%. So that's a big deal. So I definitely recommend that. And kids can get that between the age of 9 and 26. We usually do that at the age of 11. And we recommend doing it on that schedule because if you get those vaccines before the age of 15, you only need 2. And if it's after 15, you need 3.
Got it. I was going to ask you because I think I remembered that, you have to take a series.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. So let's talk about some of the West Virginia laws on vaccinations.
So West Virginia is actually a great state when it comes to, it's a great state anyway, but a great state for vaccinations. So we do have laws that require children to have vaccines if they're going into a public school, a private school, or a state-regulated daycare facility or child care facility. So they have to have a lot of the vaccines that I talked about previously, not things like HPV at this point, but a lot of things that protect against meningitis, tetanus, pertussis, things like that. And you have to have those to get into school, so you have to have at least one of those vaccines vaccines to enter. There are certain people that have exemptions, so if they have anaphylaxis or a big reaction, which is very rare to one of those vaccines, then that would be an exemption. But just because you don't want them, it's not an exemption that you would get in the state. So we have high vaccination rates in the state, which I think is very important, especially with the current measles outbreak that you see in some states. It's great.
Okay, well, doctor, thank you so much for being on here.
You.
Learned a lot. Again, you guys can watch us again on WSAZ.com. Just click on the Moms Everyday tab. Have a great day.